Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Scott Spears Now. Today, the guests on this program, 4 members of what is certainly to be called and certainly to be remembered as one of the most iconic groups ever in the world of disco, music, wherever you want to group them, the Village People. And by the way, the Village People will be coming right here to Marion, Ohio on Friday night, September the 6th, with an 8:30 p.m. start time to the main stage of our Popcorn Festival. Can you beat that? No admission, free to everyone. It's going to be pandemonium in downtown Marion on Friday night, September the 6th at 8:30 p.m. The Village People in Marion. Can you beat that? But before that, the Village People are here on Scott Spears Now. Let's take a look and a talk with one of the great groups of all time, the Village People. This is Scott Spears, and today we're joined by Felipe Rose, Alex Briley, Ray Simpson, and Eric Anzalone, otherwise known as the Native American, the GI, the biker, and the cop of the hit group, the Village People, who will be gracing the Popcorn Festival stage on Friday, September the 6th at 8:30 p.m. right here in Marion. Remember, all entertainment is free on those nights. Did you know the Village People have released their first new single in 25 years as of August the 6th? Its title, Let's Go Back to the Dance Floor. Let's go back and visit with one of the all-time iconic groups, 4 of them, the Village People. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey. All right, Scott.
I tell you, I want to get into this because I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and we'll just kind of go round robin here. For people who don't know, first though, let's identify who is who out of costume here.
Okay, I'm Ray Simpson, the cop.
Felipe Rose, the Native American.
Alex Briley, the soldier.
Eric Anzalone, the biker.
Perfect. Now that we've done roll, we can get into this.
We're not dressed because we were in a board meeting.
First question I want to ask is about this new single, because I hear it's doing very well. Only out for a couple weeks, just a little over a week. Yeah, how did this come about? First new single, 25 years.
Actually, someone corrected us on Facebook. They said that it was actually 19 years. And the guy was actually, said that it was Far Away in America, was something we did in Germany. So, I mean, he was being a little bit, pecking the years away. And he said, oh, your press release is wrong. But that's really 25 for a dance single.
Well, actually, we got with KC of KC and the Sunshine Band. And he came into our dressing room. We were doing a co-bill in some city in the United States. I don't remember where.
Maryland.
In Maryland. And he said, I got this great song for you guys, man. Check this out. And he started singing it. And we said, yeah, that's kind of catchy. It's kind of catchy, yeah. So it kind of developed from there. And we made some adjustments and voila.
Well, when he sang it, we were getting ready for the show. And he said, but if I write it, would you sing it? And I was the only one that said, sure, go ahead. It's like I was digging the hole and throwing the guys into it. He said, no, seriously, if I write it, would you sing it? I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because we know Harry, we go way back with Harry, Wayne, Casey. And, when somebody says something like, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to write a song for you, you go, oh, okay, cool, dude, go for it. So, I don't know that we were totally taking him seriously until he actually sent us something and said, here we go. And we're like, oh, nice. And it was hooky. All of us were singing it, like, just a little bit he sang to us. All of us kept singing it that night.
It's nice that he took the time to do it. We were looking for it.
That's a very interesting backstory that maybe people don't know. Another big-time legendary performer passes a great song like that along.
And the guy has written some great songs with great hooks. He's a 5-time Grammy winner. So, to give him that credit and for him putting that energy behind it is, it was like the timing was great.
Well, speaking of the timing, 19 or 25, whichever it is, I'm going to stick with 25. Sounds better.
I'll stick with 19.
Stick with 19. Okay. Why? Why so long?
It's about finding the right song. You know, many times, you know, you can have so many offers, so many things come in, and it has to be something that we really wanted to love and put ourselves behind. And we did.
We recorded other songs and have other materials that other members have written in the show. But the thing is, the timing, again, you know, maybe it wasn't right, or people always would hear something or present something and would say, yeah, but you know, it's not like YMCA. But nothing can be like YMCA.
We also have quite a grueling schedule, and we work a lot, so we don't really have a lot of time to go into the studio. And since KC wanted to do this, we kind of made time. We were in Orlando working for Disney, and we flew down to Miami directly after that, and we recorded the song. So we just really made some time.
Yeah, I mean, Ray ain't kidding, actually. We flew into Miami, got off the plane, went to the hotel, had a bite to eat, and went right to the studio that night. And we banged it out into the early hours in the morning. I mean, that's how we got it done.
Well, when you talk about the process from when the song was actually first pitched in October to now, you're talking 6 months.
Right.
With everybody's schedules.
When you do a new single like this after 25 years, and you have such iconic hits, YMCA, of course, was mentioned there, but In the Navy, all these great hits, is there an expectation, do you think?
Well, we have expectations, and I'm sure our fans do also. So we just do what we do. We go in and we do it, and I guess it sounds like Village People, and that's what people have told us, that it actually sounds like us, and we're proud of that. And we'll continue to try to give the people what they expect from us.
Also, I think that's the key, Ray. I think that we went in just to enjoy the process with someone like KC, enjoy the process, and, you know, we knew that it had a good hook, we liked the track, and we figured, you know, let's see what happens, you know, and it's the response has been terrific.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I hear just a few months ago you guys were at the Hollywood Casino up the road in Columbus, and people loved it. So it's going to be a lot of fun here in Marion coming up in early September. You know, I was doing my research here, and Felipe, tell me if I have this right, you were the first recruit for the Village People. Is that how did this happen?
Can we blame him?
A long run, 36 years later. How were you approached? What happened?
Well, the old ex-producer, and rest in peace, Jacques Morale, approached me in New York when I was dancing in clubs and with my regalia and my tribal gear, and he said, I want to put this concept together for a group with you in it. I thought it was a really stupid idea. And he said, I'm going to make you a superstar. And I thought, this guy's crazy. I told this DJ, Richie Rivera, that guy's talking about he's going to make a record and make me famous. He's out of his mind. He said, no, he's actually a real producer. Because, you know, you hear people say things in clubs, and you don't know if they're for real or not.
And here we are 36 years later.
Well, and I do want to mention also that, Alex, you are also an original member of the Village People 36-year run. How did you come to join the group?
Well, that was, it was more or less a, how shall I put it?
Recommendation.
Well, kind of, yeah. I met the former lead singer, and he told me about the audition. And so I decided after 30 seconds to join, pretty much.
Now it's kind of interesting. Eric and Ray, you have joined as the group has went on over the years. Eric in the early 90s, and Ray, you've come about. What's it like to come into a group that has such a past presence?
Oh, Ray, you were with us.
Well, actually, I was early on, like in 1979, I actually came into the group, and it actually was a lot of fun. It was a job, I'll tell you that much, and I was doing what I love to do, which is sing and dance and that type of thing, and I had a great time. It's been a tremendous challenge all the way through, and it's something that from one day to the next, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know where you're going to be. It's really crazy. You could be in Japan one day and Australia the next. So it's been very challenging, and I never dreamed that music would take me around the world, but it truly has.
Mm.
Yeah, and I when I came in, Glenn Hughes, you got a mail or something there. Glenn Hughes was still with us. May he rest in peace. Great guy. So it was interesting. I was filling his boots, and he was watching me fill his boots, and he was very helpful in the transition with me into the group. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that at the first couple of gigs I was like, oh my gosh, look what's happened. I look to my left and there's Alex. I look to my right and there's Felipe. Wow, I'm in the Village people. You know, it's not something I would wake up every morning and go, I'm going to be a Village person someday. But like Ray said, you know, over the years, it's such a wonderful thing to, you know, we all love what we do, sing, dance, get paid to see the world, meet lots of great people, and we are a family, so.
He left one important part out. He was a Ninja Turtle, you know.
We got in the bag.
All the past,
Yeah,
as great as it was.
Dig it out.
We all have past, you know.
That's exactly right. You know, it's interesting. You touched on it a bit there. Because of the transitions, and sadly we have lost some members. Glenn Hughes, the original biker, gone in 2001, and several others. For you guys, for Felipe and Alex, who've been there since the beginning, what's it like to lose these guys?
It's an adjustment, and you know, like anything in life, you know, there's a bit of regret, you know, and you sort of you adapt, you move on, and it's well, help me out here.
But trust me, Glenn is actually the only person that has passed away, and his spirit definitely still lives with us, and we think about him and discuss him all the time. Actually, we make mention of little things that remind us of certain things, and that's just being a family and moving on.
It's nice to have fond memories, you know, but we've had people here who've been with us who have brought new memories and who will continue to have fun with us.
Absolutely. I want to go kind of round robin on this one. Favorite song to perform on stage?
Macho Man.
Macho Man?
Well, you have to say YMCA because, you know, people, the audience goes nuts every single time, no matter where you are around the world.
Absolutely.
They?
Maybe San Francisco, Hollywood. Actually, we segue from one song into the other, and they're kind of like, it's like a West Coast trip, so it's fun.
Yeah, I'm with Felipe. I always like doing Macho Man, but little guilty pleasure here. I know these guys are gonna laugh. We go to Australia. I like to do the milkshake there, which really don't. You know, as far as
Oh my
the
God,
group
we
goes.
have to put that in the
Yeah,
show.
when we go
Oh
down
no,
to
Can't
Australia.
Stop's in the show.
You know something very unique about the Village people, and I kind of want to go round on this one also, is the characters. You have very distinct characters. What do those characters mean to you?
They don't mean much. No, actually, no. They're like a little bit of New York City, because we started in Greenwich Village, and actually the producers saw a couple of like construction worker, Felipe with the headdress on, and it kind of the cowboy hat, and it kind of developed from there. And it wasn't so distinct from the very beginning. It kind of developed years. It took years to actually develop. And we're in New York, is what we are, pretty much.
Yeah. And we do, you know, as much as the costumes are us and vice versa, when we get on stage, everyone's sort of, or when you get into your costume, you do the persona which is developed. It really comes on. It's like you don't move the same, you know.
You walk different.
It's different. There's something about the costume.
I actually was watching people. We were backstage in some area in Europe, and we were getting ready to go on stage, and there were people backstage kind of looking at us. And I noticed that the people that were staring and they were pointing at, you know, they look at all the accoutrements that we have on our outfits, like the belts and the chains, and it's not so much what we're wearing, but what's on it too. You know, the intricate details and all the hardware. So I found that interesting that people were just staring around, pointing at, you know, the construction worker's helmet and the chains on his thing, my jewelry, fringe, the badge, you know, everything that comes together and makes it Village People.
Very well put. And you know, it's kind of interesting because this group around since 1977, 36 years. Some of you with that for 36 years, Felipe and Alex certainly. What has kept this group young? What keeps you young?
Good time!
You could say we like a party.
Our stage performance, every time we get on stage.
It's a blessing, trust me. To be able to be at our age and to still get up and jump around and have fun.
You gotta work at it.
It's great.
You gotta work at it.
Keeps you in shape.
You do, and you know, part of the fun for us really is the audience and the energy that we get from them while we're on stage. It's enough to keep you going.
Watertown.
The last show we had in Watertown, New York.
The 6 women.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
We had 6 women that came in front of the stage, and right at the very beginning of the show, dressed like us.
Is that right? That's something.
And they marched right in front of the stage, and then they went up to the back of the arena, but when they came back around, they had half of the audience with them.
Well,
From the line.
Well, tell me this. All these years, what is the craziest thing you've seen from that stage?
My grandmother take her bra off and throw it at me. That was pretty interesting.
That would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. There was one particular theater where I kept noticing, because people get up on immediately when we get up, hit the stage, people stand up. But for some reason, I kept getting the focus over to where Alex is, and the whole section was sitting down. So in between my free time, I would run over and say, "Get up, get up." And so Alex told me to do that like 2 or 3 times. And he said, "Felipe, they're in wheelchairs." Because I kept seeing the people do this to me.
I'll tell you a crazy thing. I remember we did the Osbournes when they renewed their wedding vows. Sharon and Ozzy.
Oh.
We performed. We were the band, the wedding band.
The wedding band.
And so we were performing, and we were doing Macho Man, as a matter of fact. And like about 4 rows back, you couldn't miss him because he's like 6'3" in his big platform shoes. He's a tall guy anyway. All messed up was Marilyn Manson jumping up and down like a little kid, you know, like screaming to Macho Man and all excited, and just seeing him pop up and down with his weird
He ran into us. He came into the dressing room before that.
Yeah, we hung out with him after we too.
Yeah. He's actually a very, very
Really
bright
good guy.
guy. Very bright guy.
He confessed that he actually had a Village People lunchbox when he was in junior high school.
Well, and you know, that's the thing. This music and this group for 36 years has spread across so many different walls, barriers, ages, genres. It's tremendously interesting. I know what it says on Wikipedia, but sometimes that can be wrong. How do you believe? Obviously, this group went mainstream. What was this group formed as?
I think that Jacques' vision of the group was he paid homage to all the DJs that really broke records and new music in a lot of the black and urban and gay clubs. And so his dedication and tribute to that section of the people in those clubs, he wanted to he created a tribute album, the first album, which was San Francisco, Hollywood, Fire Island, to the tribute landmarks of those cities. And then from there, it just, I don't know, it got kookier and kookier.
It's just dance music.
But it's really, the orchestration in the music is far by none, was brilliant. He was a perfectionist.
You know, there really wasn't anyone like us when we first started. People dressing up in costumes and doing choreography, the same thing, the lineup. And so we were actually one of the first groups to actually have such a visual thing that when you left our concert, you had to be ready to come back and see us again.
Also, you couldn't buy what we were wearing. It wasn't anywhere in any store. Now today, you can
buy it
go
now.
and buy army outfits and
Yeah.
cowboy gear, you know.
Yeah. Everywhere.
You know, I think Felipe touched on it there, and that's what it does say on Wikipedia, that it was based a little bit in homosexuality, and that is sort of followed over the years. Have audiences changed because of that? Because I think certainly less accepting in '77 than 2013, maybe not, I don't know.
Our audiences are diverse. I mean, we
Diverse.
don't really, and
When we did Australia with Culture Club, it was both fans coming together with their fans dressed like Boy George and our fans dressed like us. And to see them together in the audience
Thanks,
was pretty
Philippe Rose,
bizarre.
Alex Briley, Ray Simpson, and Eric Anzalone. They are the Village People coming to Marion, Ohio on Friday, September the 6th. We look forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Take care. Hey, who knew the Village People could be so much fun? What a great bunch of guys. And remember, coming right here to Marion, Friday night, September the 6th, 8:30 p.m. start time at the Popcorn Festival, downtown Marion. Main stage, admission free. The Village People, you can't beat it. And how about that? First new single for the Village People in 25 years is out. You will want to take a look and a listen to that. But for now, this is Scott Spears, once again, heading for the dugout.